All right. Who here would say they love games, sports, anything fun? Nice. I see you, playful people. I love you already. Those of you who did not raise their hands. A bold move in front of a guy who holds a diploma in toy and game design. Yes, I studied play, but don't worry, you're also my kind of people. Because I have to tell you a secret. There was a time when I was not able to play, when I was afraid to play. We're going to talk about this today, a story about how I battled my fear, how play saved me in the end, and how play might save us all. Because play is not the opposite of seriousness. It's the foundation of growth. When I talk of play and games, I do mean all kinds of games. Digital games, analog board and card games, cooperative games, some role-playing. Playing can take on so many forms. I call this omniplay. Omniplay is also a mindset where you engage in every form play can take. Structured or spontaneous, serious, solo, or with others. In fact, let us practice some omniplay today, here, right now. I would like you to join me on my playing field. Let me build it for you. It's a path filled with stories, insights, and some unexpected up and downs, gaming levels. Let's start the first level by going back in time. I'm a young game designer now, in my 20s. I have to visit a doctor. This doctor, after examining me, tells me, "I'm very sorry, you have a very serious illness." What kind of disease do I have? The doctor is very unclear about that. He's only telling me to visit a specialist as fast as possible. I'm going to the specialist, and he's clearing half his schedule for me. Not the best sign. Even though I still have to wait 2 more weeks. Since nobody is telling me what disease I exactly have, I'm turning to the most consulted doctor in the world. Dr. Google. Have you ever consulted this guy? You know what diagnosis you have at the end, right? It's always some terminal, some terrible disease. On the day of my appointment, I'm going there full of fear, expecting my death sentence. 5 hours of examination. And I finally have my diagnosis. Nothing. It's nothing. The first doctor misdiagnosed. I'm happy, I'm relieved, I have my life back at first. But then my time with Dr. Google is kicking in. I read so many articles about terrible diseases, I'm starting to develop the symptoms. My left arm is hurting. It's a heart attack, right? I'm developing headaches. That's brain tumors. I'm running from doctor to doctor, but nobody can really help me. Although I'm bothering them a lot. And I think they still have little warning signs of me. Like, don't take this patient, he's a nutcase. Finally, one of the doctors is making the right decision. and she's referring me to a therapist. The therapist is telling me that I spiraled down to an anxiety disorder. The whole package, full throttle, panic attacks, bodily symptoms, sleepless nights, everything. A reason for that downward spiral was missing information. The information I found was only exaggerating my catastrophic thinking. I call this my year of fear. I lost my lightness. I lost my creativity. And I lost my ability to play. One of the worst times in my life. During my sleepless nights, I started to realize if information was missing, I had to gain that information. I decided to start learning. I studied about my disease. I studied psychology, I studied sleep, and of course, anxiety. Slowly but steadily, change was happening. Learning helped me to play again. And playing helped me to learn. Playing board games with friends and families. It calmed me down. It helped me to stop my catastrophic thinking, to motivate me to learn and to move forward again. Play and learning transformed my fear into growth. Now, why did I tell you this story? Because I see the same symptoms of anxiety in our society. A lot of studies show that the development of our society, and it shows that depressions and anxiety is rising rapidly in our children and in adolescents. Not just in one country, but globally. This confirms what I already felt deep inside. We are witnessing a systemic and collective mental health crisis. We are constantly bombarded with fear-driven news, polarizing social media, misinformation framing. Catastrophic thinking has become our default mindset. This makes us vulnerable and easy to manipulate. Why? Why is this working so well? Because we as a society lack information, knowledge, and education of the topics with which we are bombarded. We are stuck in fear. Instead of blindly trusting every social media posting, every polarizing news headline, we have to get better in education. Education, this is the key. But when I look at our educational systems, I see almost always broken concepts. We learn and teach anachronism. And even worse, we teach learning to fear. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever dreamt about an exam years after finishing school or university? I did. Till this day, I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night sweating, convinced that I missed my final exam, that I have to do it all over again. A nightmare. If you had these dreams, or if you had an exam where you were really afraid of, do you remember the facts? Do you remember how to pass the exam today? No, me neither. Fear doesn't help us learn better. It makes us remember the panic, not the knowledge. A research team from Cambridge found in a study that anxiety during test situations can directly impair learning. We all experience it. Students worry, and the more they worry, the less they remember. Although we know that learning through fear is not working, we're doing it again and again in our universities, in our teams, with our children. I see small children crying because they are afraid of the next day of the next exam. That's not a good learning environment. That's toxicity and anxiety. As a game designer, I know we have to grasp the attention with something positive, with positive emotion, with motivation, with play. Play is not the opposite of learning. It's the foundation of growth. There's one thing, and this even supports that more. When we look back at our roots, when did we learn the most? When playing as children. How much did you learn about the world around us while playing? Of social behavior, of a basic understanding of gravity. I cannot understand when we decided to mark learning, or to mark playing, as children's stuff. When I do workshops with adults, I tell them we're going to play for 45 minutes in order to learn something new about a topic. I sometimes get the reaction, I don't have time for playing. I then ask back, do you rather have time for a 45 minutes boring PowerPoint presentation? I have this ready. Be my guest. How many precious hours did we waste while learning with old methods and tools? Science is backing this up. University of Cambridge scientists literally watched how memories are being built. Tiny protein structures are growing between neurons. But, that's important, only when dopamine is present. The happiness hormone. It's like joy carves knowledge into our minds. How can we get more of this knowledge, of this joy, while playing? In play, we explore the world around us, how we can navigate it. In play, we try, we fail, we adopt, and we grow. If we build this mindset into our classrooms, our teams, our homes, we build something bigger, a society that is resilient, that is connected, that is motivated. Change doesn't start with information alone. It starts with positive emotion, with positive motivation, with play. Remember the start of our conversation. Omniplay. A playful mindset in every situation. Always ask yourself, how can I make this more playful for me and others? In fact, let's practice some omniplay right here, right now, okay? Please, everybody, put on your most serious face. Okay? Serious face. Right. Eyebrows down. Jaw tight, stiff neck. Everybody. I can see you, even in the back. Now, start wiggling your eyebrows. Blink with your eyes weirdly. Move your shoulders. Raise your hands. Everybody, raise your hands. Come on, everybody. Yes. Now, do jazz fingers, stuff. Yes. And now high five your neighbor. High five. Nice. It looks really playful. Would like to join you later. Feel that shift? That's your body remembering. Play unlocks movement, and movement unlocks growth. Let's create a world where learning is not scary, but joyful, where we are not led by anxiety and polarizing, but by playful creativity. Always remember, play is not the opposite of seriousness and learning. It's the foundation of growth. Thank you for playing with me today.